Willie Rennie.
This week I met teachers employed on casual, short-term and zero-hours contracts. The numbers employed in this way have mushroomed in recent years. The group speaks for thousands of teachers who are desperate for some certainty and permanent work. John Swinney met them last July. He promised, "I will give you a full and proper response once I have thought through all of the implications." They are still waiting. They saw the government adverts, dreamed of nurturing young minds, but have been stuck in short-term and zero-hours contracts for years. And now they are thinking of leaving the profession. Does the First Minister believe this is treating teachers with respect?
First Minister.
No, I don't actually, and I don't see any reason why teachers should be in that position. The government doesn't directly employ teachers. We provide the funding for local authorities to employ teachers. There's been almost 5 years now of pupil equity funding made available to schools to support the employment of teachers. And of course, as a result of the pandemic, in the summer of last year, we provided additional funding, which has since then supported the recruitment of over 1,400 additional teachers in our schools and more than 200 support staff. In January this year, we announced a further £45 million of new funding for education recovery, and again that funding allows local authorities to deploy more support to schools and to families as this crisis continues, and they are able to use that to recruit further staff should they think that is the most appropriate way of using that funding. So I'm happy to look into the specific cases that Willie Rennie is raising, but given that we have record numbers of teachers right now, then I don't think there is any reason for the situation he outlines.
Willie Rennie.
It's always somebody else's fault, isn't it? This is not a small number of cases. This is thousands and thousands of teachers who were attracted to the profession by this government, and John Swinney, who is chuntering in his seat. He shakes his head, but the EIS calls them zero-hours contracts. The group of teachers told John Swinney, this is what they told him: "You have turned your back on us." One teacher works in a supermarket to make ends meet, another in a cafe. One said, "I have worked hard for 6 years, but it is impossible to secure a permanent post." Another, "I have been made temporary for the 3rd year in a row." So we must create new permanent teaching posts to get rid of this growth in zero-hours contracts and the casualisation of the teaching workforce under this government. Thousands of pupils have missed out on learning due to the pandemic. Will the First Minister, get up now, will the First Minister guarantee a job for these teachers to help the educational recovery?
First Minister.
There's no reason that any teacher should be in that position. Now, Willie Rennie says that is shifting the blame. It's just a statement of fact. The Scottish Government doesn't directly employ teachers. The employers of teachers are local authorities. And any time a minister in this government stands here and suggests we take responsibilities that lie with local government, people like Willie Rennie stand up and accuse us of centralisation. But he talks about more permanent teachers. Since July last year, we have seen recruited more than 1,400 additional teachers and more than 200 support staff, and they should be permanent additional staff, and that is what I am saying the funding is there to support. We've also got a higher number of teachers in our classrooms now than at any time since 2008. That's the case because we are providing the funding to local authorities to employ more teachers. And I would encourage local authorities to make sure that as they employ teachers, they give permanent jobs to teachers, because we're going to need more teachers in our schools for a long time to come as we continue the work of improving education for all.